And you're now live.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Doumeis. I'm gonna be playing Final Fantasy VII on the PC. So yeah, I'm ready to start whenever. Should I do a countdown?
Yeah, you can give us a countdown.
Okay. Let me just see it. Okay. So on 3, 2, 1, and go! So the Final Fantasy VII, the PC version is very similar to the PSX version, and we're going to start with the very classic cutscene here of Aerith and the train and everything. So while this cutscene plays out, I'm going to explain a couple things about the game. So this game is pretty much the same as the PSX. However, there is a couple of properties of this game that allows us to break the game completely. That's why it's about 2 hours of a run. First off, I should explain that there are no really random encounters in this game. There is something called a step route or step route. Whenever we run or walk, we change some values in the memory, and those values actually determine when and where we'll get an encounter. So I'm gonna be doing a very specific movement route to be able to pretty much manipulate the encounters. So this is a pretty good thing because we can remove a lot of RNG from the run, but it's also a little bit tough because if I do any mistakes in the movement, I can't catch up, pretty much. So I'm gonna try my best to do the proper movement. Yeah, here's the classic intro. But as with any RPG runs, I'm gonna start by opening up the menu and changing a few options, putting everything to fast and putting the cursor to memory, so it will remain on whatever option I pick. And also, I'm gonna fix the camera and stuff like that, just a little bit. And this run is actually has a really nice start because I'm gonna start by doing 2 very tough tricks. I'm gonna have to concentrate a little bit and then I'll explain them a little bit better. So here I'm gonna open the menu. Oops. This version has a bad habit of doubling your inputs. If I press an input and then select press another input at the same time, it will double down the first input. So that's a little bit annoying sometimes. Here, as you guys can see, I can just hold the circle button. I actually got a very nice ATB there. I can just hold the circle button and actually input the attack as fast as possible, so I don't have to mash for battles or anything. That's pretty useful. So I'm gonna be attempting a very precise trick here. Okay, nice. That's very nice. It was a little bit slow, but okay. I'm gonna explain that in a second because there's another trick coming up. Right here. I'm gonna do it 3 times just to be sure. Nice, very nice. So the first trick I did there was a very precise, pretty much pixel perfect movement to skip the whole renaming Cloud and Barret cutscene. So now Barret is at level 1, and Cloud will be renamed will have the name Exodier for the rest of the run. For some reason, Exodier is too big, so it just remains Exodier. So that's pretty nice. Saves about 30 seconds, I think. But since Barret is level 1, it's gonna slow me down a little bit for the next boss fight. The second trick I did was opening up the menu on the same frame I would get an encounter. Then I was able to completely skip that encounter. This is only doable in a couple encounters in this run, so it's not very often that I can do that. The first one is really the easiest one because we have such like a short, how can I say, we have only one screen of movement really, so it's pretty much always in the same spot. So here I'm gonna try to move as optimally as possible. This encounter here is unavoidable, unfortunately. I mean, it is avoidable, but it would bring some consequences. And I got a fast escape. That's pretty cool. Usually they take a while and attack. So far I've been getting really good RNG on the escapes and everything, ATBs. So how this game works is you have a active... Oh, okay, that was a little bit bad. We have active time battle. We have like a bar that shows us when we're gonna attack, and the amount that the bar is filled at the beginning of the battle is completely RNG. Oh, I am doing a change command in the beginning of battles. That allows me sometimes to buffer a escape, because if I have good ATB, my character will change and then escape right after. Okay, so here what I did was I walked 8 steps, and this is for what I mentioned earlier. By walking at certain spots, I can pretty much manipulate the encounters you get. So I avoided an encounter there by walking those steps. I'm not very good at the theory of why that happens, but it does happen like that. Actually, creating the step count and the step route for this game is very complicated. Okay, so this is the first boss fight. We actually got... maybe we can get an attack off. Yeah, nice. Barrett's doing very little damage because he's level 1. So that attack doesn't matter much, but it's extra damage. Okay, so what we need to happen here, ideally, is that he does the tail attack against Barrett. Oh, I misplayed there a little bit. It's fine, it was the machine gun anyway. So if he did the tail attack, I would be able to have an attack, then Cloud Bolt, and then it would fill my limit break with Barrett. So I will be able to attack 3 times in a turn pretty much. And now he's not gonna target Barrett, so it's fine. Because in this game, when you have a limit break, it ignores completely the turn order. So I can pretty much have 3 attacks in 1 turn. I'm gonna be using that again later. Okay, so I'm gonna do 1 more bolt with Cloud here. I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully he doesn't crit me. I'm gonna have Barrett with the attack ready, like queued up pretty much. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'll be able to do here. He's gonna do a tail laser on his second phase, because I attacked him. And both limit breaks were filled. But since I have the attack queued up, when he lowers his tail, I'll be able to attack, use a bolt, and then limit break on the same turn. So that's pretty much free damage, without him attacking at all. So that's pretty nice. Unfortunately, since I did the first glitch, the first skip there, Barrett's doing no damage at all. So the fight takes a little bit longer. Let's see if I can finish it with this bolt. Very nice, very nice. This was a very good Scorpion time. I'm actually gonna beat my goal by a lot. Okay. So now I did waste a couple of steps by doing some wrong movement. So I'm gonna try to do the movement as optimally as I can, because I need some things to happen. I need to trigger an encounter on a very specific spot. Oh. I'm gonna try to walk as little as possible, especially here. Okay. Because you can trigger Jesse from very far. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. So what I wanted to happen was to have the encounter upstairs, I'm not sure if this is gonna work now. Maybe. Maybe I can still make it work. Jesse's bugged now. She's glitched. I'm gonna try to do the setup. I don't know if this is actually gonna work, but I'll explain it later. I'm gonna do some walking here. I'm gonna open the menu so I can buffer my inputs. Gonna bonk here. So this is a very precise movement. I want to leave the reactor at a certain value of step ID, I guess we can call. Let me just finish the setup real quick. Now we gotta go as close as possible here. This should work. So basically what I'm trying to do here is on the next boss, if we do the movement correctly here, we can get a preemptive attack. What does that mean? A preemptive attack means we start with the 3 ATB bars filled, so we get the first turn, we can attack 3 times before the boss even moves. And since we have Cloud's limit break, we can do 3 attacks and then a braver, so 4 attacks without the boss even moving. And since it's still the first turn, the braver is going to do more damage.
Two, one.
Okay, welcome back everybody. Sorry about that, we had some technical issues. We can restart the timer on 3, 2, 1, and go! So, hopefully you guys didn't miss much. Let me just make sure I select the correct options here. We don't want to fight any guards, because that's slow. So now we didn't have much going on, we just had a little bit of talking. I think what I just explained is that until the next boss fight, there's gonna be no danger fields or no aggressive... I keep forgetting the word, but okay. There's gonna be no encounters, so there's no problem if I do any mistakes in the movement until the next boss fight. And now there's gonna be an important skip. Not really important, but it's the first skip that we use a Paralysis Dodge. And what is a Paralysis Dodge? When we speak to certain NPCs in the parts of the story, Cloud is locked in place. We can't move at all. But if we trigger 2 dialogues at the same time, or if we have a dialogue open and then trigger the second one, we can actually bypass that and move. And by doing that, we can do some funky things. We can do some skips and some interesting effects. So there's a lot of that in the run, but this is the first actual, the first skip that we use that, I guess. Just a little bit more of talking. This is a JRPG after all, so there's a lot of dialogue and a lot of cutscenes. There's one particular skip in this version that unfortunately doesn't work. Unfortunately soft locks the game, but we'll get to that. Okay, so Jesse is gonna stand very near the end of the screen, and if I try to move to the other screen, there's a guard blocking my way. And he speaks to me if I try to move. So I'm gonna attempt to do this. Okay. There we go. So now I can just move to the other room, close Jesse's text box, and then I'll teleport to Jesse now. And I skipped a whole cutscene of 15 seconds. So she was gonna show me the whole Midgar map and how the trains work and everything. So by doing that, we actually skip all the cutscene there. The reason I opened the menu, I guess I should explain that. When we open the menu, we can close it down and then hold the buttons we need to hold. So we can buffer every single button at the same time. So I needed to hold down, right, and confirm. So if I try to press the 3 at the same time, maybe I pressed down before and then I would trigger the guard and fail the skip. So opening the menu is a very safe way of doing these skips, because we can switch to a whole new set of buttons without pressing them one at a time. So that's pretty useful. Okay, so now, if you guys have played this game before, you know we're gonna meet Tifa and unlock our materia menu, which is good, right? Except we're not gonna be doing that. I should show you instead of speaking about it. Okay, I'm gonna talk to Barrett here. He's gonna call us to go to the base. I guess I can explain a little bit of the story going on, but there are so many skips that it's hard to talk about the story. But yeah, we just blew up a reactor. So yeah, that's nice. We are... okay, so there's the 7th Heaven bar. We should go there and meet Tifa. Except instead of doing that, we're gonna go shopping. We're gonna buy some grenades. Because why not? Okay, 16 grenades. There's a little bit of a slow menu, just to be sure. I need to have money here. It's important. And now we're gonna do something called guard skip. Nice. That was pretty fast. So, you guys remember I should go meet Tifa and then do the second reactor, the whole another mission, fight Airbuster, fall into the church. We're gonna skip all of that. We're just gonna walk, quote unquote walk, sorry I bumped my microphone, walk past those guards with precise movement, and then we are in Walmart, or Walmarket. Now Aerith is actually named Aerith, because she's actually named Aerith in the code. So I guess that's her correct name. So the remake was right. Now we have a whole bunch of side quests to do here. We're actually gonna have to transform Cloud into the most beautiful girl ever, because we need Don Corneo to actually choose Cloud here, because we avoid a few fights and we avoid time loss. So there's a few side quests we need to do. Where it has this brilliant idea. First of all, we're gonna talk to the materia shop guy, or materia seller. He's gonna ask something. He needs to... I don't remember exactly what it is. We need to buy an item for him. So before that, we should actually enjoy a nice meal, nice Korean barbecue. And that's why we need the money, actually. One of the reasons we need the money. But I need to choose the correct option here, so I'm gonna take it very slow. Because if I choose the wrong option, it's gonna be really bad. I'm gonna eat a nice barbecue, say it was good, or it was alright. Now we have a pharmacy coupon. Now we can go to the pharmacy and get a digestive remedy. And now we're gonna take a nap and buy a protein bar for 200 gil. So the reason we did all that is the side quests I was mentioning. Okay, nice. So now we delivered the protein bar. I'm actually gonna save the game here real quick. This is more of a safety save, because we're gonna be attempting to do a skip that can soft lock the game. So that's a little bit dangerous. Hopefully we won't need to reset. Okay, he's gonna give me a diamond tiara? I'm actually not sure. English is hard. We're gonna speak to this person at the dress or clothes shop. He's gonna say his father is actually on the bar drinking. So we gotta talk to his father or her father. So here's where we're gonna do bar skip. It's the same Paralysis Dodge mechanism. I'm gonna talk here first, then trigger the dialogue with the old man. We're gonna close this. Now at a very specific text box, I'm gonna open this again, talk one time to this person right here, give her the medicine, choose the correct dress, and then we're gonna get the cologne, the sexy cologne, and the dress at the same time. Or not the dress, but we're gonna trigger the dress event at the same time. So if we didn't do that, we would have to watch the girl leave the bar after we give her the medicine. Like, there's a whole cutscene. So we skipped that by doing the bar skip. Thankfully we didn't soft lock, so that's pretty good. And now I'm gonna invite you guys, everyone that's at home watching. It's nice to exercise during the quarantine, so I'm gonna invite you guys to do squats with me. I'm actually gonna have to do some squats here. So if you guys wanna join in, feel free to do that.
Alright, let me get set up here.
Okay. Just make sure I choose the correct options. We actually have to win this, because otherwise we get the wrong wig, and that's pretty bad. Sometimes he is really good at it, your opponent. Sometimes he gets like 20 squats and you get 21, and that's pretty scary. but if you never miss one, you never lose, no matter what. So it's a pretty easy minigame. Just gotta time out the buttons correctly. You can buffer them like really early, so it's not a really a big deal. Okay, now we're ready to be pretty. I'm gonna go put on the dress and the wig and the cologne and the tiara and everything. And hopefully, if I did everything correctly, Corneo will choose me. Because who would choose Aerith or Tifa if you have Cloud, right? Okay, I'm learning how to walk properly. By the way, if you guys have not played this game yet, I highly recommend it. I also highly recommend to play the remake of this game, which has a incredible chapter in this part of the game. It's a really nice chapter. Okay, let's see. There's gonna be a little bit of dialogue going on here, so this is a good time for donations if you have any.
I have a $4 donation from Silver Moonlight. I'm really enjoying the marathon so far. Keep up the great runs, everyone. Also, shout out to all the Midwest Speedfest staff for making this event possible. Putting this donation towards Mikazu Vibe with the Universe incentive.
As you guys could see, going into the stairs is impossible. It's actually really hard to angle correctly the movement there to go up the stairs. For some reason, the angle is really weird. Fortunately, doing mistakes here in the movement doesn't cost us anything, or only the time of the mistake, but it doesn't really ruin the step counts, so it's fine. So here we meet back up with Tifa. And she's gonna be surprised that we're dressed like this. Gonna meet Aerith for the first time. This music is really nice as well. Yeah, here she's explaining us that her mission. She came here to squeeze out information of Don Corneo. Disguised, I guess. There's a juicy adder there, by the way. We're gonna be getting that, worth a lot of money. One thing I didn't mention, this since we skipped the 7 Heaven bar, we actually would get 1,050 and 500 gil there. And by skipping that, we actually are really tight on the money. It's actually really hard to have grenades for everything in this run. It's like very... how can I say that? The money is very tight, I guess. The best way to explain it. Okay, so here we're gonna... For some reason we have to go to the side here to trigger the event, but it's just a detail. We're gonna line up, and Don Corneo will choose the best girl. If we don't get chosen here, we actually have to do a bunch of fights with Don Corneo's thugs, I guess, or subordinates, and that's really slow and really costly. So let's see. Okay, nice. I did everything correctly. For some reason there's a hyper behind Don Corneo's bed. I don't know if they intended anything with that, if it was a joke or something, but the hyper is worth a little bit of money, so it's also helpful. For those who don't know, the hyper effect makes us take more damage, but we also get more limit break. But it's not really useful in this run. Just for the money, really. Now we're gonna have a little talk with Don Corneo. He's gonna admit that Shinra is gonna take down our base. Actually, Shinra is gonna take down the whole pillar, like blow up the whole pillar of Sector 7. So we now wanna go there and save everything, save the day. But unfortunately, I mean, let me not get ahead here. We're gonna get baited and fall on a little trap. I love Don Corneo's little dance there. It's so funny. Here's a little bit of more story, I guess. Or here's just to show the protagonist of the story, which is Cait Sith. Unfortunately, we won't see Cait Sith in this run. Yeah, Cait Sith is probably the best character in this game. Yeah, just a little bit of internal conflict in Shinra, just for the context. More mashing for us on the speedrun. Okay, so now I'm gonna fall near the boss, and I'm gonna do the rest of the setup movement, or the movement setup, for the preemptive encounter. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but I hope so. I'm gonna do a very precise movement here. If I did everything correctly, I'm gonna get the 3 bars filled up. I'm gonna be able to pretty much back attack the boss, which is called a preemptive attack. So nice, very nice. We actually got it. So now I can use 3 grenades, and I can use Cloud's Limit Break right after, which counts still as turn 1 because limit breaks they ignore the turn order. We're gonna do a whole 498 damage, so that's a lot. Usually, the Braver would do like 175 or something, so 498 is really good damage. Saves us a lot of grenades. Now we need to use 4 more grenades, and the fight is over. I'm gonna let Epps kill himself with the wave, the Silver Tsunami, because that saves grenades. It damages himself, so that's pretty useful. Okay, so now we're back on the step counts. I'm gonna have to do some precise movement here. I'm gonna try to do the movement as tight as possible. Okay, I did a little bit of a wide turn there, but that's fine. So we're gonna get another preemptive encounter here, and we're gonna walk 6 steps just to be sure. I'm pretty sure I can walk 5, but don't wanna have a extra encounter here. So the next section is actually some very hard movement. It's one of the toughest sections early on when you're learning the run. I consider myself still learning the run, so I'm not very good in this section. Usually I end up a little bit behind on step counts than other good runners, like the better runners. So I'm gonna try my best to do this correctly. We're gonna pick up a few potions and items on the way. Okay, here's an encounter I can actually skip, but I wasn't sure where the encounter would be. You need to have very precise movements and consistent movement to have an idea where the encounter would be, so you can menu buffer it, open the menu at the same time. Excuse me, okay, thank you. Usually I don't buffer it just because I'm not extremely consistent on my movement. It is a tough trick, because it needs to be on the same frame you get the encounter. So you gotta have a really nice idea. We're gonna move some trains here. Can we get a fast escape? Oh, nice! We're getting really good ATBs on this run. That's really fortunate. It's unfortunate that we had to pause it. I would probably be on PB pace, I think. Which is really nice. Okay, so this is the last section. We can just hold left here. Section is really okay. And we're gonna go to the next boss fight, which is Renault. And Renault is a little bit tricky. I found out about a new strat for him that can save us 1 grenade. So I'm gonna be attempting that. Unfortunately, Renault opens up the fight with a pyramid. Pyramid completely locks up 1 character. So the way I can save a grenade is by doing 1 attack with Cloud. Because Cloud is pretty strong. So if he pyramids Cloud and I don't get my attack off, I will have to waste an extra grenade, which is unfortunate. Maybe I can try a limit, we'll see. Really depends. What's also unfortunate in this section is the first section of stairs. We have a lot of stairs. And these stairs actually have step count on them, so we have encounters there. So I'm gonna try to be as precise as possible with my movement here, but it's a little tough. I'm gonna wanna be really close to the rail to really how can I say that? Small turns, I guess. Nice! A fast escape on this fight is really rare, so that's pretty fortunate. Usually they attack you like twice. Oops. A few bonks, but it wasn't so bad. Since we didn't get another encounter, it means I did a good job, pretty much. Okay, so we'll see here. Renault's gonna run down, activate the bomb. Let's see how is my ATB. Pretty okay. Hey, we actually got... Oh no, I missed! I'm gonna do another attack. I don't know if it's worth it, but I'm gonna do it. Okay. What? That was a missed input. I think I changed or defend. I don't actually know what I did, but it was a. Oh, the crits. I actually missed an input to the right on accident, but it's fine. Oh, that's not so fine. Okay, hopefully we don't get game over here. Okay, that was a little bit scary. If he used another pyramid, I would game over. I was tempted to use Tifa's Limit Break there, because Tifa's Limit Break can target 1 pyramid, but I wasn't sure if it actually targeted Renault, it could be bad, so... Okay. It was an okay fight. The miss in the beginning was really unfortunate, but that's RPGs for you. So here we're gonna find out that Shinra actually kidnapped Aerith. So we're gonna have to go rescue her, obviously. Like, how can you resist? Oh, we didn't get slap skip. So there's a trick here called slap skip that somehow we can bug or glitch Tseng's movement, and then Aerith gets slapped by the air. He doesn't move and she gets slapped for no reason. But it's it doesn't save any time at all. So now we gotta convince Barret to go fast here. Come on, Barret. Nice. Sometimes he kinda glitches and jumps twice or 3 times. So that was pretty cool. And now we're gonna get a pretty sad cutscene and some pretty sad dialogue, so this is also a good time for donations.
So before I get to our donations, I would like to mention the charity we are raising funds for here at Midfall Speedball, and that is the White Bear Area Emergency Food Shelf. The White Bear Area Emergency Food Shelf has served as a critical resource for families experiencing food insecurity since 1977. Providing food and support to over 1,200 families each month, they work toward eliminating barriers that limit access to healthy food for families living on a low or fixed income. Their vision is to end food insecurity in the White Bear area, though their programs are open to anybody in need of food, regardless of geographic boundaries.
There's quite a few dialogue left, so feel free.
So I would also like to mention one of our partners here at Midfall Speedball, and that is 2D Con. Every August, Midwest Speedfest partners with Minnesota's largest gaming and esports event, 2D Con. Our next on-site event, Midwest Speedfest 2021, will be part of 2D Con 2021, which will take place in Minneapolis or possibly online next year on August 27th through 29th. For more information, including how to register, go to www.2dcon.net.
Okay, so I'm gonna give a little bit of context here. Barrett, this big guy here, he was a part of a eco-terrorist group, I guess. He was trying to combat Shinra, which is the big bad company. He had his group called Avalanche. That's the reason Shinra blew up the whole thing, to erase Avalanche. So he was the only one left, and he was pretty sad there, because his partners and his friends died on the explosion. His daughter, though, was saved by Aerith before she was kidnapped. And that's where we're gonna go now. We're gonna go see his daughter and talk to Aerith's mom. We should have talked to her mom before, but we skipped that. So we're gonna meet her mom for the first time now. And this next screen actually is one of the hardest to keep the correct movement, or to stay on step counts. Because especially for newer runners, it's a really killer of the step counts. Fortunately, we have a preemptive run here. I'm gonna try my best again to do the correct movement here. Yeah, Cloud usually has these headaches, few flashbacks. This happens a couple of times during the run. I'm gonna try to not spoil too much, because this run doesn't see much of the game, so I'm gonna just talk about what we were seeing. Okay, so this was pretty nice. It was a pretty nice movement there. It's much trickier than it looks, I think. I'm actually not sure if it looks hard, but it is pretty tough, because the movement in Final Fantasy VII is one of the least intuitive one. Or intuitive? Is that correct? I think so. A lot of screens actually shift your controls. So up is not really up, it's like diagonal. So you have to be used to every single screen pretty much. It is a tough game to learn and master. Yeah, step count doesn't play a big role in this speedrun. Just for the second boss that we need the preemptive. For the rest of the run, it's pretty okay. If we get behind, doesn't matter much. One thing I should say though, we are gonna go to the world map eventually, and world map encounters are different from field encounters. There's no step count. World map encounters actually are dependent on the in-game time. So we can manipulate those. I'm gonna try to manipulate those. It's a little bit harder because I need to reach. How can I explain that? Every time, every single second of IGT needs to be tested. For example, if I get to a certain point and I hold down, I'm gonna get an encounter. But if I hold left, I'm gonna get another encounter. So we need to test every single IGT manually. So it's a lot of work. So I don't have the whole game mapped out. I have a few times, and if I don't reach the place I want in that time, I'm gonna have to rely on RNG. So I can't manip it unless I map it before, which is a lot of work. So yeah, here's the cutscene from Aerith's actual mom dying, so it's pretty sad. When her adoptive mother found her. So we can squeeze in a couple donations if you have.
So I would like to give a shout out to our alternate language restreams. Midfall Speedball 2020 is being restreamed in French and Japanese by our friends over at Baguette Restream and Japanese Restream respectively. You can find the French restream at twitch.tv/Baguette Restream and the Japanese restream at twitch.tv/Japanese Restream. We've worked with both of these groups before and we're very thankful to have their support once again.
I gotta say, I love the Baguette Restream name choice.
It's great.
So here we have a little bit more of story. When Shinra actually found about Aerith. Because Aerith is actually the last ancient on the planet. Ancient are pretty much the first race to come on the planet. They were here before humans. They are kind of like humans, but a little bit more powerful and more interesting. They can like hear the planet, talk to the planet, and pretty much understand the energy around the planet. So we're gonna grab a couple items because they are very kind and they leave some items here in the room. We're gonna grab those because they are worth money. We need to supply our addiction for grenades. I love the next shop, by the way. I just picture a guy, like 3 people coming in, selling everything they have and leaving with a whole bag of grenades. I just love to picture that for some reason. And that's pretty much what we're gonna do. So, I think I grabbed the other on the right? Yeah, I think I did, okay. Because that's pretty important. We're gonna literally sell everything except our grenades. Oops. Buy 43 grenades. Now we have 300 left, which is required. I'm gonna explain why in a second. Oh, that was really good. I've never been this far ahead on step counts, like ever. So that's a good sign. But the reason I attacked here is because Madhouse has a really long attack animation. So I attacked with Barret because I had good ATB to be able to escape before Madhouse attacks. It actually has a really long animation, so getting an attack off there is worth it, I think. So we're gonna go back to Wall Markets. We need the 300 gil to be able to buy batteries. They are necessary to proceed in the story. I've only forgotten to buy the batteries once and never again. If you forget the batteries, you have to do a walk of shame back and you lose about a minute. It's very bad. So it's one of those mistakes you never do twice. Here I'm gonna do a little menu. Oops. I'm gonna put on the battle mode to wait, and I'm gonna put everyone to the back row. So, since we were using grenades are not physical attacks, so when we are in the back row, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't alter, like it doesn't affect our damage, and we take less damage, so that's pretty important. Also, this music is awesome. This music is really inspiring when you are on a good pace. We set the battle mode to wait because we're gonna be doing a ATB wait streak in a couple fights. I'm gonna explain that when we get there. Oh, actually, I could explain right now. So, how ATB waiting works is when you're doing an animation, every one ATBs freezes, and when you're with a menu open, it also freezes the ATB. So we can pretty much attack, and then when the enemy attacks, we queue up a grenade. We have the menu open. So what that happens is that causes pretty much is when we finish attacking, my ATB and the enemy's ATB will fill in at the same time. So that allows us to get more attacks in, or more like make the enemies have less attacks. Oh, I actually missed that. That's unfortunate. We can make the enemies attack less than usual, I guess. It wasn't a very good explanation, but I hope you guys got it. So this is a pretty easy trick. I just got ahead of myself there. You can use the audio and a very consistent audio cue to jump on the thingy. This screen is actually very non-intuitive, not very intuitive, but it's pretty easy once you understand where you're going. And here is the big bad Shinra. Again, if you guys haven't played this game yet, I highly recommend you do. This game has an awesome story, really good gameplay, amazing graphics as you guys can see, and fantastic OST as well. Okay, so this part of the run is pretty famous, or infamous maybe I should say. Barrett's wanna just break in, and Tifa wanna go around the back alley there. We're gonna say we're gonna break in because it's faster, but it doesn't really matter. We're gonna go through this part because there's no encounters here, but there are a lot, and I mean a lot of stairs. So if you wanna shout out anyone or give or talk about donations again, that would be really appreciated, because we have like 4 minutes of stairs here, or maybe more.
Well, I can certainly talk a bit about our event while you climb all those stairs then. So, this is Midfall Speedball, operated by Midwest Speedfest. Midwest Speedfest is a Minnesota-based organization that has been hosting speedrun marathons since 2015. In the summer and winter, we partner with 2DCon and VGMCon respectively to help raise money for their chosen charities and bring even more entertainment to their conventions. In the spring and fall, we host online events also in support of charity. So far, we've raised over $30,000 for various charities, and we hope to see that number continue to grow exponentially with your support. If you're enjoying the marathon, please consider following Midwest Speedfest. In addition to our seasonal speedrun marathons, we occasionally interview runners in a podcast format as part of our Runner Spotlight series. You should also consider subscribing to Midwest Speedfest or cheering bits. All Twitch revenue we receive during this event will go toward the White Bear Area Emergency Food Shelf. Of course, if you have Twitch Prime, you can subscribe for free. To stay up to date on Midwest Speedfest events, you can follow our Twitter at twitter.com/MWSpeedfest. You can also join our Discord server to get updates and chat with runners and staff. Type !Discord in chat, or check out our Twitch bio for a link. If you're a speedrunner yourself and would like to participate in one of our marathons, we'd love to have you. Runners from all across the globe are encouraged to submit to our online events or volunteer. For example, I just so happen to be in Washington, D.C. right now. And once this pandemic is all over and it is safe to hold in-person events again, if you're willing to come to Minneapolis, you can take part in our in-person events as well. For more information, again, you can join our Discord server by typing !Discord in chat, or by checking our Twitch bio. How you doing on those stairs, Doumeis?
I'm actually getting a little bit tired, because holding the D-pad for so long kind of hurts. I was gonna mention, actually, I am from Brazil, so shout out to all the Brazilians out there watching. So this is one of the nice things to have of having a online marathon, so everyone around can join. That's pretty cool. I was gonna say that Tifa is actually very aggressive in this part on the dialogue. It's actually a little bit too aggressive, because Barrett keeps complaining about the stairs, and she keeps calling him out and cursing him. So it's funny. It's a funny interaction. So the reason we actually get the stairs, I don't think I've actually explained. There are no encounters here, so the step count doesn't increase at all. There's an elixir. We don't need the elixir, but it's nice to have as a backup. The reason is that if you go on the front of the corporation, I guess, the building, we're gonna trigger a lot of battles. There's an elevator with forced battles that we can't run from. So runners have been trying to make that viable for ages because stairs take long. But it's especially with the few grenades we have, it's not viable at all. We tried, especially on this run because it's so short. We tried making elevator a thing. It didn't work out very well. Oh. We go from the bottom there to avoid step counts. So here's the first battle with the ATB weight trick. We actually had really... I did a wrong menu there, but we had really bad ATBs anyway, so it didn't really matter. It's gonna be just a normal fight, I think. Yeah, he got 2 attacks, unfortunately. That's fine. Not a big deal. So we just wait until our character finishes the animation throw, or the throw animation, and then we use another one. I should have only used 2 in the beginning, and then waited the 3rd one, but I forgot about it. I just held out the button. We're gonna use the elevator. No more stairs. So now it's probably the hardest part of the run, or the most punishing part, so I'm gonna concentrate a little bit. I have to talk to Tifa and Barrett here, and I'm gonna focus a little bit, and then I'll explain what I did, or what happened. Now we're gonna do a very specific timing for Tifa. That was kinda close. I'm gonna go a little bit safe in the last one, because we are almost there. I'm gonna wait it out here. Yeah, okay, nice. I'm very relieved. Because if we get seen, if we are seen by any of the guards, we are thrown in a battle that we can't escape from. With 2 of those armored guys we just fought. We just fought 3 of them, but we got thrown on a pincer fight with 2 of them. And that is really bad, because we have to waste either MP or grenades, and we don't have a lot of grenades. I've said that a couple times. So here's a password. We are just gonna YOLO it. I think we're gonna get the last one. Oh no, 3rd one, okay. We can open up the menu, because this is based on the in-game time. So we could actually manipulate it and know what it is, but since we don't need any of the items there, we can just YOLO it on the PC run. It's fine. Obviously, it costs a little bit more time if we don't get it right away, but... This is a interesting minigame. Oh, I'm really ahead of step count, I think. This is a minigame people joke about being awful to work on Shinra, because every time we want to move through this door, we have to like fill this giant puzzle. It's a very weird minigame. Also, it's pretty ahead of the curve because it already has it already has Sector 7 destroyed, so it's pretty updated. It's like someone made sure to update the Midgar. I don't know how to call this, but I guess the sculpture. The order is not random, but you can do any order you want. I think only the first one is fixed. So it's just giant walking back and forward. Very easy, chill part. This is one of the parts that are really boring if you are not on PB pace. But if you are on PB pace, you try to optimize it and it goes really fast. So, not a big deal. I could have changed the ATB to active to be able to run faster, but it didn't really matter, so it was good I didn't. I got two really nice escapes. And now we can open up this chest. Here's the iconic meeting. The villain meeting, I guess. We're not gonna flush the toilets. This is a pretty common mistake. We're just smashing. Then you select the first option and you flush the toilets. It's mandatory for your first run. It's like a initiation ritual. And here we have a lot of dialogue as well, so it's a good time if you have any donations or shoutouts.
One thing I would like to mention is that we do actually have a prize for Midfall Speedball. Throughout Midfall Speedball, a single $5 or larger donation will enter you to win one of 25 Steam keys for the retro arcade puzzle game Delta Light, developed by Flapbox Studios. Combine your speed and insight to outmaneuver and puzzle your way around the enemies to complete the many levels. Please ensure you are logged into your speedrun.com account when you donate so we can contact you if you win.
That's a pretty good deal. So, a little bit about the story. We actually peeked on the meeting of those bad guys, I guess, the heads of Shinra. And we found out a little bit about the plans. They want to use Arif to find the promised land. So I'm not gonna spoil it because we actually never get to see any of that. So it's important that I get... oh, okay. I was gonna say it's important to have fast movement, but I guess I jinxed it. Because there is this lady coming here, this woman, and she can either go left or go up. And if we bonk a lot and she goes up, she actually blocks us. But that's fine, she didn't go up. She actually blocks our path and we have to wait a little bit more. So it's a little bit of RNG, a little bit of execution. It's not a big time loss, but it's annoying. It's very annoying if she goes ahead of you. So here we're following Hojo, which is the big scientist on Shinra. Apparently he's very bad at leaving doors closed, so he just leaves everything open on his path. So we can just follow him without keycards. And here is the best Metal Gear Solid scene in the game. This is our hiding spot. Nobody can see us here. Like, this is actually our hiding spot, so I don't know. Take that as you will. This scene is awesome. And there on the capsule there, or the container, I don't know. There is a very particular member of our team. You guys have already played, you know Red 13. This cute little dog here. We're gonna be unlocking him in a minute. Now Cloud is gonna see a very peculiar character. This, when I first played this scene actually jump scared me. I actually like freaked out when the screen transitioned there. It was pretty funny. We're gonna get a annoying noise and a little bit of a headache. And the dialogue is almost over. We're almost gonna go back into action. To another boss fight. One of the more annoying boss fights. It can throw you a lot, waste a lot of time. But it shouldn't be too bad. In this boss fight I'm gonna use limit breaks and fire with red to be able to save a few grenades. As ideally we're gonna leave Midgar with a couple grenades left to be able to clear encounters quickly, but we'll see. So here's a little scene. Red is just acting up, pretending to be ready to attack Aerith. And then Barrett's just gonna blow it all with his machine gun. Oh yeah, Barrett has a machine gun on his arm. I don't know if I ever mentioned that, or if you guys noticed that. That's pretty epic. Now Barrett or Red is gonna attack Hojo here. Just a little more cutscene. Okay, so this fight I'm gonna try to do the A to B weight trick again. He has a lot of minions. He has 3 minions, so I'm gonna try to only attack the boss. Because if we kill the boss, we kill the minions as well. The minions only waste time. We don't have to rename Red, it's actually slower, I think. Okay, so this is a good ATB. Oops. Cloud didn't get poisoned, which is cool. That was kinda bad. He got too many attacks off. Maybe I should have used Braver right away. Okay, that wasn't such a bad fight. It's pretty okay. I saved a couple grenades by using Fire and Braver. This fight is very complicated to grasp, to understand what's going on. Even I don't really know how to do the ATB trick properly. I kinda wing it a little bit. There's some more advanced strats, but it's not a hard fight by any means, but it's hard to optimize it. I was gonna save here, but I'm gonna save later. It's fine. Oh, I forgot to change the ATB. I need to do that. I always forget this menu. We got a fast escape, so it's fine. And then put Red to the back row, so he takes less damage. This is really important on the next boss fight. If we leave on wait, we actually lose a lot of time. Oop. Got stuck there. So now we're gonna run away. Accept it or not, we're gonna be wrapped. I don't know why they were able to trap, like to arrest us without a fight. I don't like that, but it's a very heavy plot armor, I guess. Because we beat the Turks many times during the run, or not during the run, but during the game. So I don't know why they forced us to be arrested, but I guess. The quick plot device. I guess because we were split up. Here, President Shinra is gonna talk a little bit more about his plans. Just rubbing the plan on our faces before he arrests us for good. Classic villain move. So if you wanna do more donations or shoutouts, this is a very good time.
Alright, I've got a shout out here for Humble Bundle, because Midwest Speedfest has partnered with Humble Bundle. You can type !Humble Bundle for a code you can add to the end of any Humble Bundle store link or URL to support the White Bear Area Emergency Food Shelf. And I guess I can check in a little bit on our goals while we watch this arresting cutscene. We have $4 towards Vibing with the Universe. Again, that is a $90 incentive for the game Mikazoo. We are also at $80 out of $100 to sing You're the Best Around during Karate Kid. So if you want to see some singing, that's only $20 more to get that incentive for Karate Kid.
Those are pretty good incentives. I'd like to see some singing.
I'd like to see some singing.
Okay, so here we have a little chat with Aerith. He's gonna tell us a little bit more about being an ancient and everything. We actually can check in on the other members, but it doesn't progress the story. The only member we need to check on in is Aerith. So we're gonna check on her, talk a little bit, and then go to sleep. And when we wake up, we actually gonna be surprised a little bit. Suddenly, oh, never mind. There's the music. I'm gonna start a little bit of a war in the chat. Which are your guys' favorite sleeping song from RPGs? Because I think my favorite song of like sleeping song or resting song is from Final Fantasy VII. I really like it. So feel free to comment on that. And as I was saying, I'm gonna wake up to the door opened. Wow, that's pretty convenient. The guard is knocked down, and now we can get the keys as well. I wonder if that was on purpose. I'm gonna have to talk to Barrett here. Red's gonna go ahead, and now we're gonna follow him, me and Tifa. As you guys can see, something happened. There is quite a bit of blood. You guys can see Genova actually escaped. Or I guess not really escaped, but left the cage or whatever container. We get a preemptive encounter here, which is nice. Since I'm so far ahead on step counts than I usually am, I'm gonna do a safety save later. Just to be... Oops. As I say that, I screw up the movement. Okay. Here we're gonna go back to the president's office to find out he's dead, actually. With a very characteristic sword on his back. So this is the beginning of the game, really. Here is where like the game actually takes off. And everything, the story starts to unravel. Did I say this game is awesome? I think I said a couple of times, but this game is awesome. Here's Palmer. Oh, sorry.
I think you said it once or twice.
Yeah, I might say it again a couple of times. I'm gonna apologize in advance. Palmer is a very funny character. Fortunately, we don't get to see him again. Actually, you do. He's gonna appear here. Never mind. So I guess this is a good time to talk a little bit about the routing. This run used to be way longer. It used to be around 2 hours and 30 minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes. We used to do some much harder or longer glitches. You used to have to fight Materia Keeper and Palmer and unlock the boats or the Tiny Bronco and do a lot of walking around, and that used to be a lot of fun actually. Fighting Material Keeper was one of the best things in marathons. Always a very fun strategy to show off. Unfortunately, a lot of new glitches were found that broke the game a lot more. So we get to play a lot less of the game now, which is not a bad thing. It's a faster run now, but at the same time, it's a little bit unfortunate. Shoutouts to RJ the Destroyer for finding a bunch of the new glitches. He actually he actually destroyed this category recently. It was a really interesting sequence of findings. Okay, so now this is a very important input. Since we never actually unlocked the material menu, if I chose to remove the material there, the run was completely over. There is no backup, literally, unless I have a save. Because I'm gonna need both to be able to finish the next boss. And if I removed both from Cloud, there was no way to equip it back up. So that's pretty scary. Okay, so here's the elevator boss. I don't actually remember the name. It's 100 Gunner and Heli Gunner, I think. We're gonna use grenades. Grenades are the best source of damage early on. Grenades and limit breaks. This fight is not very interesting. We're just gonna hold down circle for a good chunk of the time. I'm gonna be careful with my grenade counts, because I need to end this fight with at least 14 grenades. Maybe 13. We'll see. Okay, Red should have... Oh, so close. I wanted Red to have had his limit now. That's kind of unfortunate. I don't have magic to use here. Nice, okay. Red will fill his limit. I can use Aerith's limit if I take too much damage. It is a time loss, but it's safe. I shouldn't have to. If Aerith dies here, it's okay. Not a big deal. So the first boss is broken. He can't attack anymore. We're just gonna finish him off quickly. The next part of the boss, though, can put you to sleep with his attacks, which is very annoying. So we're gonna use the limit break to make it a little quicker. Is Red attacking first here? I think so. And Barret now has the limit break, so that's awesome. I can do this, and then this. To save a couple grenades. Also, the animations of the limit breaks are pretty cool. Please don't put anyone to sleep. Okay, that's fine. Now he's gonna start spinning. Yeah, and a few more grenades should finish him off. Sorry, I bumped into my microphone again. Apologize. Yeah, I still have a lot of grenades. Oh boy. Okay. I think one or two more should finish him off. Okay, perfect. We still have a lot of grenades left for the next fights. We need to leave this place with at least 8 grenades. 8 is very weird. 10 would be ideal. 8 is a very weird fight. So now this is one of the most epic 1v1s in this run. When I first played this game, I actually thought this was pretty cool. So we're gonna first throw a grenade on Dark Nation, I think is his name. This grenade has a chance to not kill, but that would be pretty unfortunate. Okay, thankfully it did kill. If it does 139, like 139 damage, it doesn't kill, because it has 140 damage. But that's like 10% chance, I think, or lower maybe. But it does happen a lot. More than I would like, actually. Actually gonna finish him with a, I guess, ice or bolt. I think it should be enough. Okay, so I save a grenade. I lose a little bit of time, but I save a grenade. As I said once or twice, grenades are very tight in this run. We got a lot of items, but they're all useless. We are actually never gonna use any items or equipment. So this run is very... Actually, before, let me just save here real quick. So this is a save to save, this is not necessary at all. But if the next boss fight goes poorly, I can die. So that's not too bad. Oh yeah, as I was saying, this run is very... how can I explain that? Weak in terms of RPG. RPG elements. We don't use materia, we don't use equipment. We barely use items, we use like grenades. So it's a very straightforward run, it's more like movements and menuing on the battles. It's a very nice category to start with. Gives you a nice summary or a nice practice on the Midgar movement. And this is the Sour Please part, or the Cat Jam, or whatever dancing emote you guys like. This is the biking sequence. On the old route, we used to have to do this sequence twice. The only reason we would do this twice is if I die on the boss, so hopefully that won't happen. It can happen, but hopefully not. This is like one of the most realistic cutscenes back in the day. This is impressive graphics. And the music is awesome, so I'm gonna spam start here to start the minigame as soon as possible. So how this minigame works, there are 3 colors of bike. The orange, we don't want to see orange, because they just damage you, they like run around, they are annoying. There's the blue bike, they mostly chase Cloud. And there's the red bike, hopefully, yeah. The game actually went, like, followed my instructions pretty much. So the red bike, it will go away from Cloud when he attacks. So we can exploit that and just spam attack over and over so they will never reach us. So ideally we want 3 red bikes, and then we can just chill. But sometimes the game is not very kind. It's not a big deal. It's not like run changing or anything. It doesn't end your run if you take too much. I mean, if you take too much damage, yes, but you hardly take too much damage here. So if the game could give us another red bike, I would appreciate it a lot. Nope. Sometimes it throws it. Sometimes you kill a bike and then the hitbox kills another red bike that you have. That's also annoying. I actually learned that this minigame is much harder on the PSX version. Like, it's much harder to actually hit the bikes. I was kind of surprised. Oh my god. Game, please, give me a red bike. I just wanna chill. No.
Marathon luck.
Marathon luck, always. I can't complain. I've gotten really good luck on this marathon so far. Okay, there's our third. Oh no, it was an orange. Never mind. It's almost over, the minigame, so okay, we're fine. We never had 3 red bikes. That's pretty rare, actually. Usually you have 3 by the end. So this boss, I'm gonna concentrate a little bit, because it's actually really precise. If we miss, like if you do an incorrect input, or at the wrong time, we just die. Not super precise, but I gotta do it correctly. So I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the boss music. I'm gonna go a little bit slow in the menus, just to avoid any double inputs. Doesn't really matter, because I have to wait for him to attack anyway. So the plan here is to do 4 boats, grenade. So I'm gonna do boat, grenade 4 times. Then I'm gonna do a 5th bolt, and then I'm gonna hold for a little bit. Because if I do too much damage to him or too early, he's gonna just wipe out my party. This is the 2nd wave. I'm gonna queue the 3rd. It's a very satisfying boss once you get used to it. This attack right here, if we do too much damage, he's gonna do this attack again. And this attack does a lot of damage. It's very dangerous. This is the 3rd grenade, 3rd grenade again. I'm gonna queue the 4th wave of attacks. I'm gonna do the 5th bolt. And get a grenade ready. Once he starts raising up, I can actually do the other grenades and another bolt. And here, if I don't do enough damage, I can queue up a limit break, just in case. So I'm gonna do that with Barret. Just gonna do a big shot here. If for some reason I don't kill him, okay, good, perfect. It was a good fight, pretty good fight. Standard. I did not only save because this boss was dangerous, I also saved because the next trick I'm gonna do can soft lock my game if I'm not careful. I'm gonna do another set of, or another example of Paralysis Dodge glitch, which is called Barret Skip. The skips in this game are not very creative. We have Jesse Skip, Barret Skip, Bar Skip, it's like pretty straightforward. But yeah, we're gonna... Usually we would have to talk to Barret and then choose our party, which would take a lot of time. So instead I'm gonna do this. Hopefully I'll hit it first try. Nice, perfect. I'm gonna attempt to leave and talk to Barret at the same time, so I can just get a Paralysis Dodge and leave. I'm actually gonna do something real quick. Because I've had encounters where they killed my members and I lost limit break. I actually had no encounters, nice. So that was completely unnecessary, that elixir, but it's fine. It was just for good measure. So here's the calm cutscene. It's unfortunate because we can't skip this cutscene at all. We need to go to the other side of the Mitru cave, and the only way to do that is by watching this cutscene. There is a hard lock, I guess a hard lock trigger, I don't know. There is a trigger that we cannot skip at all if we don't watch this whole flashback. So if you guys have played this game, you guys know this flashback is very... I mean, on the playthrough it's not boring, but on the speedrun it's very uneventful. We can't do much. We have Baby Cloud here at level 10. 10 or 1? 1, I think. We have Sephiroth, which is one of the best villains ever. We have him at level infinite, I don't know this level. But he's really strong and he's gonna take care of all the monsters, including this one. So this is one of the main sources of RNG in the run. The dragon encounter here. If the dragon attacks Cloud, he's gonna die. And that may cause Sephiroth to actually use life. I don't know if it's life 2 or life 3, I think it's life 3. But he's gonna resurrect Cloud. And that can go forever. There is no limits of resurrection we can trigger, so we can waste a lot of time here. Okay, Sephiroth attacked first, that's really good. And he's gonna attack Cloud, let's see. Okay, nice, perfect. I was about to say marathon luck, but that was really good. So Sephiroth can either attack again and finish the dragon, or keep resurrecting Cloud over and over, as long as the dragon keeps attacking Cloud. It's completely out of our control. It's a really annoying RNG section, I guess. Pretty characteristic in the run as well. So here's a flashback of when Cloud and Sephiroth actually went on their first mission together, because Cloud was a big Sephiroth fan. Then he joined the Soldier, which is the military class or military elite of Shinra. It was like the super soldiers of Shinra. That's why he is the ex-soldier when he starts. Now we are the ex-soldier. There is just a bunch of dialogue for now, so if you want to do another shout out, feel free.
Sure, I can do another shout out, and that shout out will be to LPAV. Midwest Speedfest would like to send a special thanks to LPAV for providing PVMs, projectors, and cameras for our marathon since 2017. LPAV is Minnesota's trusted video and audio vendor since 2003. Having worked with companies such as Mountain Dew and Microsoft, you can trust LPAV will do it right the first time. Please support them by checking out their eBay store, which you can find in our Twitch bio, or by typing !LPAV into chat.
So, I mentioned really early in the run that there's one skip, one paralysis dodge, sorry, I can't speak right now, one paralysis dodge skip that we can't do on PC version, and it's this one, it's the photo skip. Another really creative name, I know. But the photo skip is actually, we do a paralysis dodge and just leave this screen without Sephiroth, without taking this picture. Wait, is it photo skip or picture skip? I actually don't remember. It might be picture skip. It's been a while. But we take a picture here. If we did the skip, we actually wouldn't have Sephiroth on our party. So any encounters could kill Cloud completely. So the step route is like, we have a preemptive encounter here, so it's fine. But if we have more than one encounter, with the skip, it's over, pretty much. But since we can't do the skip on the PC version, it's okay. Sephiroth will just kill any monsters. And the reason we can't do the skip is because for some reason it soft locks in this version, specifically. We used to do the skip on a older route, because we revisited this cutscene. Like we did the skip just to die after. But we're gonna get to that later. There are some more optimal ways to game over in this game. We're gonna get to that. I'm not gonna spoil the main course of this run. So it's pretty funny, if we do the photo skip, we don't see Sephiroth at all. So every interaction with Sephiroth is just with an invisible person. It's very interesting. So this is also a lot of dialogue. Here's where the player meets the source of magic, I guess. Let's see if I can get an escape here. Sephiroth usually likes to show off. Yeah, he likes to show off his magic skills. But sometimes you can run away before he attacks, which saves a little bit of time. Not a little bit, a lot. The whole animation and fanfare. So here we find out how materia grows. Materia is like the concentrated energy of the planet, which becomes, if we refine materia, we can make like those little materia balls we put on the weapons, materia spheres, and those can make us cast magic and summon and all the good stuff. Unfortunately, we don't have the materia menu, so we can't barely do the good stuff here. So this is like the raw materia, which I guess is the crystal of this game. Every Final Fantasy game has some sort of crystal, like crystal themed story. So I guess this is the closest we have to a crystal. On this scene, for example, there would be no Sephiroth, so Cloud and Tifa would be just talking to no one. Okay, we're close to the end of the scene. I'm a little bit behind on step count now because I did the safety save and had to walk a little bit more, but that's completely fine. This movement is really hard. Okay. we can't just go straight or diagonal. We have to do a little wiggle to get into the stairs. It is actually pretty hard. Like, you can sometimes make a mistake there. And here I'm gonna do something interesting. I'm gonna leave and re-enter the reactor real quick. That will make Sephiroth disappear, or just despawn him, so he won't be in my way. This is a tricky screen, or a tricky movement, because we have to hold down to go down this chain, but we have to switch to up right as we get on the floor to be able to go to the correct direction. So Sephiroth would be in my way there and would take him a little bit to walk. So if I leave the reactor and re-enter, we can actually just despawn him a little bit faster. So a little bit of story triggers here. We need to fix the valve there. Now Sephiroth's gonna show us what Hojo was doing here, creating monsters and stuff. Some messed up stuff. And please guys, don't judge me, but for some reason the monster that's about, like, this monster right here reminds me a lot of some Esper from Final Fantasy VI. So don't judge me, please. I don't know why when I saw that, it always reminds me of some Esper. I don't know which one though, maybe Ifrit, I'm actually not sure. It's been a while since I've played Final Fantasy VI. So here Sephiroth goes insane. He realizes he's being created, or he thinks he's been created, on one of these capsules. Well, because here Hojo is injecting materia on humans, like way more than they should be able to handle. That's why they are becoming monsters. Here's one malfunctioning. This one is Kafka. No, I'm just kidding. And here's the first part of the cutscene, or of the flashback. So one really important thing we need to do here is save. We actually need to save here. There's gonna be a quick rest break, I guess, because we can choose to continue on the story or rest and save. We're gonna be coming back here later in the run for glitch purposes. So I'm gonna save on the second slot here. Okay. So Cloud's gonna continue his story. Also, I'm not trying to spoil it too much. I'm just telling you guys what's going on. So if you wanna shout out or read any donations, if there are any, I would appreciate it now as well.
Alright, I do want to mention that Midwest Speedfest is partnered with Rogue Energy. Type !Rogue Energy in chat, or check our Twitch bio for a link to the Rogue Energy store, where you can buy an energy drink. A portion of your purchase will go towards the White Bear Area Emergency Food Shelf.
Okay, so here's some tricky movement. The room there has shifted like diagonals. It's a little bit different than the usual. So here we're gonna visit Sephiroth. He's actually on the hidden library underneath the mansion. This is the Shinra mansion, which is like screaming plot device. Like it's just a random mansion with a bunch of data logs and reports and stuff like that about the experiments. So he's gonna be reading a lot tonight. We're actually gonna like just leave him. We can try to talk to him, but he's gonna say just leave me be or leave me alone. I don't remember. So we just exit again, and he's gonna continue reading and reading and reading again. He's gonna find like all the reports about his creation, I guess, about all the experiments that Shinra was doing, or the Hojo was doing. He's also gonna learn how to cast a really powerful fire magic. We're gonna see in a second, or in a minute. And also we get to hear the the plot thickens music, which is a really nice song here. Very spooky, very dark. Have I mentioned I love this game? Okay, so I'm just kidding. I'm gonna do the same movement here. A bit tricky because we don't have diagonal movement. I mean, we have diagonal movement. We don't have full 360 movement. We only have 8 direction movement. So we have to go on little squares. Okay, so here Sephiroth is fully insane. He's calling Cloud a traitor. He's just saying the humans are traitors from the ancients that we learned before. He says that he's an ancient, his mother is an ancient, his mother being Genova, or Genova. I actually don't know how to pronounce that. And here the plot will thicken even more. A little bit of silence just for good measure. So now we're gonna have to walk back. Unfortunately, we have to like walk this path 3 times. A little bit annoying. That's why I mentioned this part doesn't have much going on. Just some walking without any encounters, a lot of dialogue. I am messing up the movement a little bit. I guess I'm trying to talk at the same time. But it's fine, doesn't really matter. So here we can see that Sephiroth actually learned pretty powerful fire magics. Also, I just love the shadow on the fire right in the middle there. It's like it looks like a campfire. I just love that detail, I don't know why. So we're gonna go back to our own house to see if anyone is alive. Unfortunately, there's nobody alive. So we're gonna look back and see Sephiroth doing some evil things. This is the awesome cutscene as well. Look how beautiful he is. I've been prompted by my friends to cosplay as Sephiroth one day, so one day that might happen. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the reactor. And we're actually really close to the end of the cutscene or the flashback. So we're gonna go back into action very soon. We're gonna do again this kind of precise movement, not really super hard. There is I don't think I've ever mentioned, but in this game you can hold L and R, the shoulder buttons, to add diagonal movement to your D-pad. That's really useful. We use that a lot in the run. That's really useful. Oops. That's really useful to shift movement really quickly. There is some buttons you can hold there that when you're at the end of the chain you just stop instead of going down. But I actually never never practiced, never bothered to learn that. Maybe I should someday. I'm just used to the quick shift from down to up. So here we see Tifa being sliced up. It's a pretty sad scene. Bible time for Tifa. We're gonna be her knight here and save her. Actually, we're not gonna save her. We're just gonna put her to the side and go confront our main villain. This run is kind of fitting actually. I never thought about that. The cutscene is gonna end here on this scene, and when we end the game, it's pretty much this scene again. But we'll get to that. I should warn you guys, if any of you are sensitive to flashing lights, there's gonna be a scene in a few, like 40 seconds or something, where the screen will shift very quickly. So if you guys are sensitive to flashing lights, I would advise to look away for a little bit. I'm gonna warn you guys right before, and when it ends, Just it's not a big deal, but I like to look away from it myself because it's just a little bit annoying. I don't know why they decided to shift so quickly the screen. It's just a fair warning. Here's a really awesome scene of Sephiroth going for his mother, releasing her and throwing the food Genova. Okay, so the flashing screen is gonna come up in a minute, in a second here, so if you are sensitive, please look away for a little bit. I'm gonna warn you guys when it's over. It's just a little bit annoying. Okay, and it's over. You guys can look back now. And that's the end of the story, or the flashback. It's a really nice beginning. Here is where the game really begins, and the story really takes off. I chose the wrong option. I did press down, but the input was kinda eaten. We choose the bottom option there, just because it's faster, but it doesn't change anything. Just a couple of extra dialogue there. No big deal. Okay, so now we're gonna... Oops. Movement here is really weird. We're gonna unlock the PHS, which is our party calling system. I didn't mean to do that. I was actually mashing A, and I talked to the lady and rested. I won't need money in the run, so this just made me hear the sleeping song one more time, so it's fine. Okay, I apologize for my throat a little bit. We're now gonna do a very nice skip. Now we are gonna have to go through the Zolom. And usually the game wants you to buy a chocobo lure and catch a chocobo and then ride the chocobo to avoid the big snake here, the Zolom. But we're not gonna do that. That's slow. We're gonna do something much more interesting. It's in... damn. It was in a very nice position. This encounter was really unnecessary, but it's not a big deal. Whenever we get an encounter, it resets the position. So it's not a bad thing. We're gonna wait here in the corner. We're gonna exploit the mechanics. Just drive it away from us. Then do this, and then it's gonna bounce off. And that's it. That's the Zolo skip. So now I'm gonna try to... I'm gonna do it a couple more times. I was too far away. Okay. There was a cutscene there from Zolom Dad on a spike from Sephiroth. If we open the menu on the same frame that we triggered the cutscene, it's just one frame of like a line, or one pixel rather. So if we open the menu on the same pixel, we just skip it completely. I started opening the menu too early there, so I opened it up a couple more times just to be safe. It's not a big skip, not a huge deal. But yeah, the Zolom skip is pretty cool. It's not hard to do at all. There are faster ways to skip it, just YOLOing straight, like just walking or running straight and hoping he won't go into you, like if you know his movement pattern a little bit. But it's much harder, and I'm not very familiar with it. There is a nice little chat with the Turks. I'm gonna be checking something now, my in-game time. I think I'm too far behind. Let's see. Oh, I actually can do this. Okay. I'm gonna save on a very specific time here. And we're gonna close the game. So I waited there on a very specific IGT for in-game time to save. You guys remember when I told you about the world map encounters? So by saving on that specific in-game time, when I load up that save and hold left, I'm gonna get exactly the encounter I want, hopefully, if I did it right. So now we're gonna go back to our good old calm flashback. I'm gonna watch it again. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna perform another very creative very creative skip called Mansion Skip. We're gonna go out of the mansion and actually do not really precise movements, but I guess it's precise movement, but it's really easy to execute. We're gonna skip those NPCs that block us. Just like that. I went a little bit slow there, just be sure. But now it's where the PC run really begins and the glitches really shine. So I guess I should explain what I'm doing here. I'm gonna game over. And the reason I'm gonna game over is, for some reason, when you game over in... Oops, trying to run. When you game over on the PC version, the game doesn't completely clear the memory or the flags that you set up on the encounter. So we can use that to warp. We're pretty much gonna warp around. So I'm gonna load up the first save I did, or actually the second save, but this save right here, and we're gonna force an encounter on this brown area. And the reason for that is that there are less enemies here, usually encounters with 1 or 2 enemies. So it's faster to kill, we don't have any AoE effects. AoE attacks. This is kind of bad, because this is the worst encounter, they can do a lot of damage to you. But let's see. Hopefully 2 limits will kill one of them, I think so. Yeah, nice. I'm gonna get a grenade off. Oh, I think I had 2 grenades actually, I shouldn't have bolted. No, I only had 1. It's fine. And when we finished this encounter, we actually had the flag from the previous encounter we game overed. So we're actually just gonna end up here. And we are actually not on the flashback anymore, we are on the actual Mount Nibel. And now, before you guys can process any of that, we're gonna game over again. I should have changed on the menu, that was my bad. I'm gonna let those walls kill me. Before you guys can be amazed at the first big warp, we're gonna game over again. I guess I can do a quick bolt here on me. Maybe I should have done it on Barret. And the reason we're gonna game over is to set another flag. And okay, that was a quick encounter actually. Not bad at all. Now is where the actual IGT manipulation comes in. We're gonna load the save and hold left. Hopefully we're gonna get the correct encounter here. And we did! Awesome! So this encounter is the one we need. We need to run away from it to set a specific flag. Now we're gonna win the next encounter and some really interesting things are gonna happen. I hope you guys are ready for that. Also now is a good time to cut off the incentive of Braver. I don't know if we're gonna finish Sephiroth with Braver.
We are indeed going to be finishing Sephiroth with Braver. We have met the incentive.
Alright, awesome. So, after we win this encounter, I'm gonna stop a little bit just to let you guys appreciate... Oops. Okay, we have another limit. Just to let you guys appreciate a little bit of the PC brokenness. So, this now is the Debug Lobby, and this is the Debug Room. So, we are on a room full of NPCs and we can do millions of things here. So, what we're actually gonna do is select LAS4/0 and hold R1, and we're actually at the end of the game now. That's it. That's literally it. We found out recently that by selecting that specific option while holding R1 actually exploits a little bit more. I don't know what it does, but it sends you right to the last cutscene of the game. So we set up all those warps to go to the debug room to select a single option and finish the game. That's how broken this game is. we can do a billion of things in the debug room. Can unlock everything we want, go to pretty much any place we want. And now we're gonna see one cutscene we haven't seen yet, which is the bridge exploding here. We never went to this reactor. For some reason the game glitches here. And now, usually, we would have Omnislash here. Unfortunately, due to this skip, we don't have Omnislash here. So time is gonna be when Cloud finishes the Braver animation. We're gonna do a quick little Braver to finish off. And time. And that's Final Fantasy VII on the PC. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it went from 0 to 100 pretty quickly, but I hope you guys enjoyed the run. And now you can enjoy a little bit of the final cutscene here. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Final Fantasy VII community, and the Final Fantasy community in general. There are a lot of awesome runners and awesome people there. I won't mention names, otherwise I'll just ramble in here forever, and I want to thank you guys for having me as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
And your final time was 1:53:11.
Oh, seriously? Oh, damn, that was a huge PB actually. That's
Nice.
awesome.